Hello again, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny content-related video on the Rise of Iron expansion. And in today's news, we have a ton of new content to talk about because Game Informer asked Bungie a bunch of questions inside their podcast, and Bungie responded with some really nice answers. So, very first thing I wanted to go over that leads to our biggest topic of this video, Radiant Treasure Boxes. Radiant Treasure Boxes are going to be used and broken down every single week, and you only acquire one unless you purchase a bunch of them from Tess Everest by using real currency. Now, Radiant Treasure is going to be broken down to acquire an ornament. If you get a duplicate ornament though, you can break that down now to acquire a new currency called Silver Dust. Silver Dust can be used as a currency to purchase things from Tess Everest, including the new Gallowing, the white and gold version, not the one that you get for pre-ordering. New artifacts are also available from Tess Everest, and they add color filters to the game. Now remember, these are only cosmetic and they don't actually affect any of the game and the actual mechanics of the game by giving you new perks. It's only cosmetic and pretty much pointless, but it's going to add some really cool color effects to your screen. One's called Golden Age Lens, adding a sepia tint, and another one is going to add a blue tint. Now, Silver Dust can also be a currency used for another vendor inside of the game of Destiny, and that gets me to my next topic, Xur. Xur is going to allow you to use Silver Dust to purchase ornaments from him every single weekend. Yes, he will have ornaments available to purchase from his kiosk, and what you do is you go over to him, talk to him, and purchase an ornament that you want. If he doesn't have the ornament that you want that week, just save the Silver Dust for next week to purchase the ornament that way. He is also going to have some new exotics cycling through his inventory thanks to the Rise of Iron expansion and new exotics available in the game. He won't have the Kvalstov and he won't have the Thorn. Those are going to be remained for the exotic quest lines. Also, the Gjallarhorn is not going to be available either, but he will have all of the exotics that are up to this point, and he's also going to have a couple new ones thrown in there with armors and weapons. Moving forward, he is going to start selling engrams again that we might be able to use. Then we have a bunch of other information to talk about that Bungie pretty much stated a little bit of information here and there on the subjects, but it's not as big as the Radiant Treasure subject. Let's move into that information. New Thorn quest, new Kvalstov quest. The Kvalstov quest is going to be available day one, so you will be able to get the any rifle immediately at launch if you go through the entire quest line. Then we also had an announcement that kills in private matches will be granted towards your Grimoire score and daily Crucible bounties, but not your weekly bounties. So that means that any kills that you do with your friends inside private matches will count towards getting your Grimoire up, and will also count towards your daily bounties for Crucible. Then strikes are going to have new strike specific gear added into the game, especially the new strikes added because of Rise of Iron. And then we also have exotic engrams will drop at a higher light level, which means that any exotic engrams that you have right now, if you hold on to them after Rise of Iron, they will drop at a higher light level. Now, when Bungie was asked by Game Informer, any exotic engrams that you acquire before Rise of Iron, will they break down into new exotics and higher light level gear after Rise of Iron? Bungie simply stated, we're going to keep that a mystery. So, Bungie is definitely toying with our emotions, and this is my favorite bit of news because we do have a high chance that new exotics are going to come out of our old exotic engrams. So make sure to start farming those exotic engrams now. The next piece of news is weapons are going to be balanced in a small update after Rise of Iron's launch. What they're going to do is they're going to test PvP with the new update, and then they're going to put out a small little patch that's going to fix some of the guns because they're not too sure on how the new weapons are going to work inside of PvP and also inside of PvE. Next up, Archon's Forge will drop new max level gear. That means light level gear from the Archon's Forge will grant you the highest level of light level. Also, Bungie is still fine-tuning the vendor's gear inside of the light levels inside the tower and also in the Reeve, and these vendors' light levels are going to change drastically, but we're not too sure what the light level gear is going to be, but it's going to increase us significantly from the start of Rise of Iron. Another vendor change is going to be Eva Levante, and she will now sell chromas. So, preferably, I would go with the blue. The blue looks pretty epic with Dead Orbit, and I'm a Dead Orbit fan. That white and black with the blue looks amazing. Faction packages now will also grant you the ability to choose between a weapon and an armor piece. You don't have to actually guess what you're going to get from now on. If you want a weapon, grab a weapon. Also, I think after ranking up everybody, you should go with Dead Orbit permanently. They're the best faction, hands down. Just kidding, guys. Only my personal opinion. If you like Dead Orbit, go with Dead Orbit. If you like New Monarchy, you can't be my friend. I'm sorry. You just can't. Future War Cult is even worse. New Monarchy I might be able to be friends with, but Future War Cult, no. Okay, so moving on to the last two pieces of news are Trials gear. Year 2 Trials gear is no longer going to be available after Rise of Iron. It's only going to strictly be Year 3. Therefore, if you like the Trials set from Year 2, acquire it now, hold on to it until after Rise of Iron, and then level the gear up. Then, final thing is, Fellwinter's Peak is going to have a ton of new secrets and events inside of Fellwinter's Peak. We have to keep our eyes out open for this because a bunch of new secrets are going to pop up throughout the days of the expansion's launch, throughout the months of having the expansion, and we are going to have a lot of new secrets throughout the year. So pay attention, Guardians. Make sure if you see anything new pop up to tell me, leave a message on one of the videos and just let me know if something new pops up. And there you have it, Guardians. That's all the news for this video. A ton of information to go over, a ton of information to take in, soak up, absorb into your souls, let your mind just develop all of these new ideas, and make sure that every one of you are ready for the new Rise of Iron to set launch on September 20th. I'm excited. If you guys want to see 2 other videos, one of them is the G Fuel challenge, me doing a challenge to raise awareness for children with autism. Very interesting. I literally put an entire scoop of G Fuel in my mouth, and it does not end well. And the other one is some more news for Rise of Iron that you guys can watch. But this is Hunter from Violent Privilege, everybody, and I'm glad you watched my videos. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see everybody in the next video.